Hi Stampers, it's Linda Schmidt with Stampin' with the Hounds. Today I have another fun fold card. This one is called the Twisted Diagonal Fold. And this one it's a 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. And when you fold it up, it does need to go into a larger envelope. So I was just putting it into a 5 by 7 envelope, so there wasn't any extra postage. So on this one, the supplies that you need are going to be the cardstock base, which was 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. You're then going to need, and this is optional, I did smoky, so basic gray is my card base, and then I did a little bit of smoky slate for a layering panel, and then my designer series paper. So if you wanted to do that cardstock layer, it's going to be 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. Then the inside panel, which would just be neutral, or I'm using basic white, that one is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4 as well. And then your designer series paper, you just need one. And if you want to decorate these with designer series paper, you totally can. I just left it with the gray, so I'm only using one piece of the DSP, and that is cut at 2 1/4 by 5. So those are your cardstock measurements. We're then going to take this card base, and we're going to score on the 8 1/4 inch side at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then you're going to do a diagonal fold on each one of those outside panels. And then it's just folding it and stuff. So we're going to get started, but at least I want you to have those measurements. Okay, so let's get our cardstock base. So again, this one was that 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just got to get my Simply Scored tool out. I apologize, Jeff, it's Sunday. We always do our cleaning house on Sunday, so he's upstairs vacuuming after I did all the dusting this morning. Okay, so again, we're going to score at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So there's kind of your little trifold. And then we're going to score from this corner down to this score line. And on my Simply Scored tool, I just took a Sharpie marker and drew a line so that I can always see when I want to do diagonal. I can line up my points easily. So here's my end piece, here's my starting. So I'm going to score diagonally from the top corner to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing here from the top corner down to the bottom. So I just need to make sure I'm lining up my starting line, and then this corner has to shift so that it's hitting that line. So I go from here to here. And that is it for the scoring. You can kind of see that. So there's diagonal, the vertical, vertical, and diagonal. And then we're going to score or fold on the score lines. So I'm just going to score on both ones just to make it easier to move. And then this one will come in. And then this one will come in because this is like our card. This one will come back. Go a little, kind of come over here. There we go. Okay, and that is it. So there's kind of that twisted diagonal fold. Super easy. Okay, now let's do our panels. So the cardstock one again was 2 1/2 by 5 1/4, and we are going to cut this diagonally in half. Actually, before I do that, I want to, let's see here. No, I'll cut it. I was thinking whether I wanted to do my stamping first or if I'm just going to cut it. I think I'm just going to cut it. So again, I'm going to cut going this way. So again, I'm going to have my corner to corner on the edge of my paper trimmer. And so now I have my 2 triangles. So I'm just going to set those aside. I'm going to do the exact same thing with my DSP. I want to make sure I'm cutting it the right way. So I want this way because I want my base of my triangle down here. The other day when I was making this, I messed up on my triangle cutting because I had cut it the wrong way, so my layers didn't quite line up. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your shape of your triangle so that it's fitting onto this, like so, like that. Bum, bum. Okay. Then, oh, you know what? I do need one more piece. I apologize. I screwed up because I do need that other, I forgot I had layered this one. So you need to have 2 of these pieces. So this was that 2.5 by 5 1/4, and I'm wondering if I've got one handy at my desk. I think that's a little too small. Always something with the videos. Okay, so 2.5. Whoops, sorry. 2.5 by 5 1/4. 2.5 by 5 1/4. And this one. This is the one that is stamped, and then I did the embossing folder. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my same now. So this is just going to go in that upper left-hand corner. And then when I cut my triangle this way, I want to make sure I'm cutting it this way, not this way. So we're going to start up. Actually, I'm going to run it through the embossing folder. So this is stamped. I'm just going to run it through my embossing folder, and I'm using the retiring, and I just got this. I'm so bummed. This is the Bark 3D embossing folder, and of course I just get it and it retires. But so I'll keep using it. But I'm going to go ahead and run this through really quick. Hold on, off camera. And so now that has that nice textured look to it. So again, I'm going to be cutting that diagonally going the other way. So again, kind of corner to corner. Okay. All right. Now we get to assemble. So this piece here is going to be attached to this inside, like here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Just going to use some of the liquid glue. Let's see, so this is going here. Well, maybe I should have adjusted this a little bit. Actually, I do need to take just a smidge off of this. So I may have to adjust my... That's not going to work. I need to do my other trimmer. Always something. Just taking a smidge off of this so that it's layering just a little bit better. Yeah, so I think I'll adjust my measurement. So instead of being that 2.5, I think I might just do just shy of that, maybe 2 3/8. I'll have to adjust it. Okay. And then I bet you I have to adjust. Now this one is okay. Nope, I do need to, I'm going to trim it off just a little bit off of this side. So yeah, just shy. A little bit. See, even the teacher messes up sometimes. Okay. So go ahead and put this then on this side. Okay, so there's that. And then these, so, you know, that one fit. So it was just this inside one that I needed to adjust. And then these should be okay. Yeah, so these I'm just going to layer on to the non-embossed smoky slate cardstock piece triangles. So this will just get layered onto here. And that'll get layered onto the card base. And what's nice with the liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room when you're laying these onto the cardstock. It gives you a couple seconds to move things around if it's not quite lined up correctly. All right, there's that. And then let's do, making sure our triangles are going the right way. So we'll put glue on the back of this one. Glue on my fingers. There we go. All right, and then this DSP will then get layered onto the other triangle. Okay. All right, so that then is that card front. Okay, so now we're going to worry about, we're going to decorate the inside. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. So on my inside, I am using the Crane of Fortune. And then I also brought in the Bamboo Beauty, just because I love a lot of these things. And these two sets coordinate great together. This one, it's in the 2022 mini catalog, and it's only available for another month or so. It did not make it into the next year's catalog, the big catalog, so I'm kind of bummed because I really did like this crane. But I'm still going to keep it because I don't know, it's a fun set. And then the Bamboo Beauty, this is another one, like I said, it coordinates and it has some really nice sayings. So I have the crane, which I am going to ink up in Smoky Slate. And I'm just going to have the crane be stamped kind of a little bit off to the side, kind of going off the paper a little bit. Ugh. I have one of those days where stamping is not my forte today. I don't know what's going on. Okay, then we want to do our saying. Oh, actually, we're going to do the grass. So this is just that little watermark, and I'm going to use In Color Soft Succulent. And we'll just kind of stamp that on the bottom. And then the same I did in Calypso Coral. And this one is, a true friend is the one who holds your hand and touches your heart. Kind of like that saying. And that'll just get stamped on top. Perfect. I just have a little bit of adhesive here. Okay. All right, and then we'll go ahead and just put this adhered to the inside panel. There's that. Now for the center piece, you want to make sure, and it looks like I've got a little bit of adhesive showing here on my other one. You want to make sure that you're only putting adhesive on part of that circles so it doesn't stick to the inside of your card. So the focal point, I actually took the designer series paper and I die cut it using the die that coordinates with the Crane of Fortune. So I cut that out. And then I cut out 3 more of the same flower in basic white cardstock because I like to layer these all together and give my image a little bit of dimension instead of using dimensionals. Because the DSP is so flimsy, I wanted to give it a little bit of support. So I am just going to put adhesive on the back. And then just layer all these pieces together. There's the one. And this is another way of kind of using up your scrap paper to doing this multiple layering with your die cuts. Layer. You can also, when you're doing this layering, you can use colored cardstock and kind of change up the your colors so you can kind of see all the different colors of cardstock in there. But this is just the white, so it just kind of gives you a little bit more dimension, thickness to it. And then this is going to be then just attach, I'll trim a little bit of this gold off. So this is that brushed metallic gold cardstock. I just cut it out with one of our circle dies. And then we're just going to attach this. So I'm just kind of positioning it because I like my texture on my paper to be going horizontal. Kind of reminds me of like a sun or something. And then I'm just kind of looking at where I want this. So now I only want to put glue on part of this because I don't want it sticking to my card. I think if I do, make sure. This is like the futzy part, just kind of positioning it how you want it to look. I think I'll do like that. So now you can't see any of that adhesive showing. And then I'm only going to put adhesive then on this side so that it's sticking to my card. Put about right about there. so. That looks good. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of my ribbon, because this is retired, or not, this isn't retiring, but I need to start using my ribbon more. I just don't tend to use ribbon much on cards these days, but I'm trying to use it more. So I'm just going to tie a bow. And this is that organdy, this is that evening evergreen. It's a really pretty dark green, kind of a forest green. It's really pretty. And then we'll just snip this. So whenever I'm doing the ribbon, I usually, I keep it so it's still on the spool before I cut it. So that way I'm not kind of wasting as much ribbon. And then we'll just take a glue dot and attach that. Let's see here. Oops, put a little bit of the glue dot on the back. And then this will get attached onto the front of the card. Tighten up my ribbon just a little bit more. Oh, tying bows. It's like a love-hate relationship. All right. That is it. So that is the twisted diagonal card. I would love to see your creation. So be sure to share them in my Facebook group page, Stampin' with the VIP Hounds. And that is it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I will stamp again with you soon. Bye-bye.